Welcome, Blades. Sheffield United against Stoke. In today's match preview, you will get Blades and Stoke team news ahead of Saturday's 3 p.m. kickoff at beautiful downtown Bramall Lane, as well as last time out player connections, and wait until the end for our score predictions. I'm bringing Ollie straight in. Look at that. No messing, Ollie. How are you?
Yes, not too bad. Thank you, mate. Not bad at all. How about yourself?
Yeah, good to join you. Looking forward to this one. This is going to be the kind of game that I absolutely love. I've got a lot of personal connections to Stoke. People who watched the vlog when Nick and I went to Stoke will already know those. So if you don't know, check it out. It's on this channel. Ollie, how are you feeling after that FA Cup win?
Yeah, it was a good win. It's nice to see some of the players get rested. I have to admit, I was screaming, absolutely screaming at my phone. Come on, we need to take Njai off. Why is Njai still on the pitch? But it was great to get through it unscathed. It's a fantastic win. Really difficult place to go. And nice to see some of those fringe players impressing. Jebison in particular. I thought he was great last week. So, yeah, really good to see.
He really was. A 2-0 win at Millwall. You're never really going to get more of a comfortable cup victory away from home than that. Thoroughly professional performance from the Blades. And you're right to mention Daniel Jebison. We'll have more on him a little bit later on. Before we dive straight into it, I want to give a quick thank you to our members, new members joining all the time. They keep supporting Sheff United Way. You can too. You can hit the join button on YouTube. It really does help us. All of these videos cost us money to do. You would be supporting us each and every month. All those names down there. I adore you. Ollie, let's get straight to last time out at Bramall Lane, Sheffield United Stoke, please.
Yeah, last time out was a bizarre game, it felt like, to be honest. It was one of those games at the start of last season. You know, United created quite a lot of chances. So if we just go through the first half, it was a bit end-to-end. Stoke had one cleared off the line, but then Adam Davies in their net made 2-3 really good saves. We were missing chances. We had some blocks. And it was one of those where you thought, it's a matter of time now. United will break them down soon. United will take the lead. So, of course, we went 1-0 down. A lovely goal from their perspective. Jacob Brown did some really nice skill on the edge of the box, just fired across Robin Olsen. And as we came to expect, if it was a shot on target against Robin Olsen, it went in the net. That's just what we got used to, and that's exactly what happened here. But after going behind, we made some subs and really changed the game. We brought on McGoldrick, brought on Mousset, and that was just the catalyst for us to go on and really take this game by the scruff of the neck. They connected really well for the first goal. A pass into Dids. He dummied it, left it for Sharp behind him, ran on to get the through ball, and then a first-time cross across for Mousset to knock home. I think it was his first of the season last year, and I think at that stage, probably his first in about 18 months, and he didn't get many more after that. But this was a lovely one, a great equaliser. And then Dids himself got the winner. A low cross coming in from the left from Stevens. Dids sticks out a leg, gets a bit of a toe on it. It isn't the greatest, I think it takes a bit of a bobble. Davies doesn't cover himself in glory at the near post, but United managed to nick it. A very nice 2-1 win. And in the end, a very, very well-deserved 2-1 win because we had so many chances. I don't know if you remember this game, Hal.
I do. Yeah, like yesterday, every Blades game, you know me, anyone's watched this channel long enough. Let's talk about the team news then. We'll start with United. Lowe and Osborne both have a chance of being available to face Stoke City. Ollie McBurney, it does sound like he isn't going to be ready. He won't make this game, which is a shame. I really do think we could do with having those extra options up top. Fleck and Kieran Clark still a little further away. Heckingbottom's been talking about Fleck, how unlucky he's been, how he's been doing everything right in the gym, but the injury still persisting. Brewster, we know, and Reece Norrington-Davis on track, but not yet ready for this game. It's just come a little bit too soon for them. Let's have a look at what In Good Nick, as he always does, reckons the lineup will be. And Ollie, I would instantly like your thoughts on that 11, please.
Yeah, a very interesting 11, a potentially controversial 11, but I like it. I do like it. I think for me, Jefferson last week did show enough. I think he also did enough in that sort of last 20, 30 minutes that he got at QPR to show that he can have an impact. So I think I would like to see him getting in the team. For me, the only areas where there's a potential question mark is what we do at wing back, whether or not there's a space there to maybe get Bogle in. But overall, I quite like it. I do quite like that team.
Jefferson up front. Can you see that actually happening?
Yes, I think I can. I think, it's easy to go back to Billy. And obviously, Billy's not done anything wrong to lose his place in the team. But I think Jefferson showed a lot last week. And I think he did enough to really put himself in contention. And I think if we're going to reward players when they're playing well, then that is the way to go. And Jefferson, on merit, probably earns the spot.
Let us know in the chat what you think. And also, of course, your score predictions for Sheffield United against Stoke City. We are at that time where one of us has to do a lot of research. And on this video, it's you. Opposition, please.
It is indeed me, and it's my turn to go through. And I'll be honest, and I'll apologise in advance to any Stoke fans who have managed to join us, who are watching this preview along with us. Throughout this season and throughout my time on the channel, I seem to have had a blind spot about Stoke City. I've done it on the predictions video. I've done it when I sometimes talk to Gab Sutton. I just seem to have a blind spot about your squad. So I apologise in advance if any of this isn't quite there. But from what I've been able to see, Josh Laurent is back fit. He came on from the bench against Preston. He played an hour in the FA Cup last week. And that's a huge boost to their chances because he's a fantastic player and will show that, I think, for them in the rest of the season. Other than that, they're pretty much fully fit. Sam Klukas is out, but I don't think he would have been in their first choice 11 anyway. In recent games, they've been playing a 3-4-1-2 formation. They altered it a little bit against Burnley, so we'll see if they treat us with the same respect that they gave Burnley. I like to think that they would, but I'm not going to go for that in my prediction. I think they'll try and stay to their specific setup. The only other impact that could be had is that, of course, we'll have seen today that Liam Delap was recalled by Man City and has now been sent to Preston. So that means a little bit of a change up front, but I think they'll still keep with the same system. So I'm expecting to see a lineup something like Jack Bonham in goal. He's recently replaced their young keeper who's been in for the last couple of seasons and seems to be doing pretty well. A back three of Ben Wilmot, the Australian World Cup star Harry Souttar, Morgan Fox, and then across midfield, Harry Clark, Josh Laurent, who we referenced before, with Jordan Thompson, and then Josh Tyman off the left. I think Nick Powell will be playing in that 10, a really dangerous player, obviously somebody we know quite a lot about, who has been around for a while. And then a front two of Jacob Brown, and I'm going to go for Tyrese Campbell. Now, like I say, this second striker is a little bit difficult to predict. It has been Liam Delap. We could see somebody like Dwight Gale. We could also see them go for the defensive option, try somebody like Lewis Baker and pack the midfield. But I'm expecting it to be Tyrese Campbell. What do you think, Hal? Anybody that you're scared of in particular there?
Nah. I'll tell you what, it's always interesting getting the opposition view. So Stoke fans, they've been chatting as they do on their forums, and Roy's View, go to roysviewfrom.com, collects all of this chatter and puts it in one place for you to see the very best. I'm just going to share some of them with you. This is the worst Stoke side I've ever seen. That's one of the quotes. I won't keep doing the accent. I get the stats, but the championship this season is rubbish. I was very unimpressed by Burnley, but their record is significantly the best. Sheffield United have had the easiest half of the season for them and yet to play a lot of the top teams away. Just a question of how many we'll lose by on Saturday. We'll fare okay against the better teams. I fancy us away at Sheffield United. So that's just a selection, Ollie, of some of the quotes from Potters fans. When you hear those, what's your instant reaction?
Well, I mean, clearly they're not happy at the minute. They don't feel as though they're the best version of themselves, shall we say. And, there is some chatter out there that they could be dragged into that relegation battle. I think that we've had an easy half of the season. Seems bizarre. We're about halfway through. We've played everybody that everybody else has played. I don't really get that. We've just had a very good start. Our away form is as good as anybody else's in the league. So it's not like going away is then going to hold us back. Just seems a really bizarre statement. But other than that, they're clearly not happy. And it does sort of give you a little bit of, I want to say it gives me confidence. What it actually gives me is that fear of them going, "Oh, we're rubbish. We always lose," and then you lose to them, and you have that, "Hey, we're winning away." So
Yeah.
we have to watch out for that, because I can't be
Really
having them
do.
chant it.
Absolutely right. I agree with everything there. Let's look at the referee for Sheffield United against Stoke. It's Chris Kavanagh from Lancashire, and that's the end of the song. Hey, even when Nick's not here, in spirit. He's taken charge of just 11 games this season in all competitions, given 42 yellows, no reds yet. That's something to think about. And 4 penalties. Now, 4 penalties in 11 games. That's quite high percentage-wise. Primarily a Premier League and European competition referee. Does a lot of Europa League games. He's not reffed a Blades match, and this took me a little while, since our 1-0 defeat at Burnley in the top flight on the 29th of December 2020. I remember doing a fans react for that, and I just filled it with kind of really bawdy humour and some pretty close to the knuckle jokes, because I was just so angry at that point. That was the awful season. The season before that, though, a much better season, he was the man in the middle for our 3-1 win at home against Spurs. Unfortunately, none of us were there. That was on the 2nd of July 2020. Of course, you still remember it, though.
Yes, indeed. But I remember something a lot more controversial for our referee this time out, Chris Kavanagh. Now, you can correct me if I've picked the wrong ref out for this, but I remember being unbelievably angry at Chris Kavanagh. Manchester City away, when he just randomly decided, I know, I'll go and tackle John Fleck and put Aguero in on goal. I mean, what else could be more fun? An awful referee. I think he's dreadful.
Right. You have got him correct. It was that one. I deliberately didn't want to mention that game, because that game at Man City, I was going to say Main Road, because it'll always be Main Road to me. That was a 1-1. That had 1-1 written all over it. I'm still annoyed, even the goal we had not given.
The offside was a joke, but fair enough, you get them. That was VAR. Just randomly tackling John Fleck on the edge of his own box, I don't think you get them very often.
They've changed the rules, of course.
I'm still really angry about it.
Yeah, me too. Should have been 1-1. And Billy, I think he hit the post.
Yeah, he did right at the death.
Scenes. I don't think I've ever celebrated, though, as much as when Moussa scored. And then, of course, we had so long. Anyway, let's not get into this. This is just bringing me down. Pop in the comments, your worst ever game. No, don't. Ollie, I already know from watching your weekly prediction video that you do with Nick. Do check it out on this channel. There's a picture of Ollie, but we've replaced his head there. Looking good, mate. Can you, for those that didn't see it, let us know how confident you're feeling with your prediction?
Yes, I am feeling relatively confident for this one. I think at home at Bramall Lane, United obviously a very strong side. I think, we've not seen the best of us maybe since the World Cup. We've picked up lots of wins, but performance-wise, it hasn't quite been there, particularly at QPR, where obviously we came back with that very, very last-minute equaliser. But I think we're going to see an improved performance. I think we're going to be on the front foot in this one. I think having had some of our players capable of having a rest last weekend, that'll give us the real oomph to go on and put in a proper Sheffield United performance at home. I think we'll win this one 2-0, and I'm feeling good about it.
Good. Your beard's grown back really quickly, by the way.
Yeah, he does that. Yeah.
Do you know what I did? I did an ollie.
Oh,
took my sideburns off. I was just shaping it, and once you take a little bit, take a little nick in good Nick's nickname when he gets out of the bath. Once you get a little nick, you've got to lose the lot. You've got to lose the lot, and that's what I've had to do. Looks a bit weird. Oh, we are getting worst game ever. Yeah, Burnley away. Lee Baxter in goal. Johnny, remember it like it was yesterday. I was right there. Alan Fettis came second half. He was actually really good, Alan Fettis. Lots of players throw him in the Lee Baxter bracket. Alan Fettis is a quality keeper.
I will throw it out there for you, Hal. I'm fairly confident. I know Johnny, I've seen him in a few videos recently. We've been having a lot of chat. Johnny's a Burnley fan. I think he's referring to the performance at Bramall Lane this season, of course, particularly that second half, which I think is understandable from their perspective.
Well, that's just like your opinion, man. My prediction for this one, by the way, if you know the film, that's a quote from, pop it in the chat, is 1-0 Blades. I am confident, but not as confident as you. It's the traditional Sheff United way to have a good performance away from home and then not necessarily follow it up at home. Maybe that's the old school thinking, because this side, and I'm just going to say a sentence now that I've been thinking through the week. I think in maybe 5 years' time, we will look back on this Blade squad And when McAtee has reached his kind of ceiling, and even in 5 years he won't have reached it, he'll be getting closer to it. And we'll look at Doyle and we'll look at Ahmed Hodzic. We might, and then we might go, do you know what? That might have been That might have been the best Sheffield United squad of the last 20 years.
Ooh, when some of these players go on and they do reach their top, you might be true. I think there's something in this at the moment though, where I don't know if it's expectation. I don't know if it's the way that obviously we're just going about our business. I do feel as though there is a underappreciation of how good this squad is at the moment, how good this team has been, and what we've done so far this season. So I do think it's one that we will look back on probably in a better way than we think of them right now.
It's hard at the current time. Whenever you're watching great players, people will always say, no, this player from back in the day was better. It's very rare that at the time you say, Iliman Ndiaye is the best player that's ever played for Sheffield United, because you will always get people. My dad will say, Tony Curry, Alan Woodward, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, I don't, because I never saw them. But in my time, I'm already confident enough to say that Iliman Ndiaye has the potential to be the best Sheffield United player that I have ever seen. And I'm happy to get grief for that comment. I stand by it, and it will only be increased as time goes on, hence being a football fan. Right, player connections. Let's have a little think. Ollie, I'm going to not make it too difficult for you today. Give me 2 players that played for Sheffield United and Stoke, please. I'm
going to focus on one position entirely, and I'm going to give you 2 goalkeepers. Obviously, one that I referenced. That's an easy word to say that I was just getting wrong. Adam Davis obviously played for Stoke in this game last season. I don't think he's going to be playing for United in it this season, but obviously we have seen him at Bramall Lane. And then another goalkeeper who some of us remember with not the best memories, Steve Simonson.
It's still too soon. Don't make any jokes.
Still too soon.
Let us know players that you think that played for both. Let me rattle some off. Asaba, Lee Silky Sanford, obviously, lots of you putting it in the chat. Michael Tong, James Beattie, Danny, the Gibraltar International, Higginbottom. There's others. I can see Akin Bai coming through as well. Pop them in, whether you're watching this live or later. We always read every single comment. And I want to say, Ollie, thank you very much for joining us. Enjoy the game. I know you're going to the match at beautiful downtown Bramall Lane.
Yes, fingers crossed for a good win. Hoping for a good weekend. And up the Blades.
Until next time.